Let's find a comfortable seat. So I am sitting over a bolster in cross-legged. You can choose kneeling, butterfly, legs out in front of you, maybe up against a wall. Let's take a Bharaiva mudra, which is, let me see, left hand underneath, right hand on top. And then you just simply connect the tips of the tongue, tips of the thumbs, tips of the tongues, and just rest those down into the lap. So you start to feel this almost cradle of the hands, cradling the abdomen almost, resting underneath the lower navel, and just that sense of touch with the thumbs there. And then you begin to let the arms become heavier so that they relax. Yeah, relaxing into the wrists, relaxing into the elbows, and relaxing into the shoulders. Kind of keeping tall through the spine, relaxed and tall through the neck, nice elongated neck and relaxed facial expression. So finding comfort, ease, contentment already as we just come to sit. And if you feel that you're not going to be comfortable here for the next 5 minutes or so, make yourself comfortable using props or a wall. So our Bharaiva mudra is for liberation, it's for unity, freedom, and it assists all of the systems of the body and supports inner stillness and courage. So just allow your sense to become one, to come together here and now in the present moment, letting go of anything that has already taken place in your week, your morning up until this point, and letting go of anything that is to come later on in the day, the weekend, or the week ahead. And already we're starting to tap into our ease and contentment of just sitting and being still. Finding a moment in our day of calmness and stillness. And thoughts may pop in. That's okay. Just recognize that our mind is still active and still thinking about things. It's hard to shut that off. So don't get angry or frustrated or stressed about those thoughts popping in and disturbing or distracting you. Just recognize and let them pass away, again, like clouds crossing over a blue sky. And as we close our month of August, we close our theme of the 8 limbs of yoga from the Yoga Sutras of Patanjali. We bring everything together, or as much as we can through the practice today, inviting all of those 8 limbs into one sequence, a yoga practice of mind, body, and soul. As we start to find 2 of the limbs here, dharana and dhyana, contemplation and meditation, we start to find our pranayama, our breath control. So begin to focus on your breathing rhythm, how you're breathing in, how you're breathing out. Again, simple noticing and observation. Nothing to be judged or criticized here. Simply observing the breath coming in, the moment of fullness, the breath going out, and the moments of nothingness before the next breath in. One of our other limbs of yoga is asana, our seat, our postures, the asana that we actually do physically. But behind each and every asana, there is an intention, there is an ideal thought, or why we're doing it, what's the purpose. And here, as we sit, this is asana, our easy seat. So just thinking about how the body feels today physically. Noticing any tight tension areas in the body. Letting the exhale breath relax any tension you might be holding or carrying. Releasing that grip, releasing and letting go. And we will touch upon some of the yamas and the niyamas as well throughout the practice, which is what we've obviously done through our asana in August. The 8 limbs are like branches of a tree. Each limb is separate, but they are all connected via the roots and the trunk. They were designed to help alleviate our suffering by remembering our essence, our true nature, and that in our heart we are infinite love and perfection. The first 2 branches, the yamas and the niyamas, are listed first as the most important acts we can do to live a life that is harmonious, fulfilling, and at peace. They are an ethical framework for soulful living and a guide to navigating the challenges that arise as we walk on our paths. Following these guidelines helps us pay attention to how we are and how we interact with others. When things are difficult, they provide practical ways in which we can nudge ourselves in the right direction. And by doing this, we are less likely to get caught up in the small battles we have each day with ourselves and the world around us. Without these 2 first steps, our 2 first limbs, the yamas and the niyamas, our spiritual practice has no roots, no intention, or solid foundation to grow on. So reminding ourselves of the yamas and niyamas that we did actually get a chance to cover through this month, which was aparigraha, not holding on, not gripping, clasping, clenching too tightly, but letting go, releasing that grip. We looked at ahimsa, non-violence, non-hurting, towards ourselves and towards others, nature, the world around us. We looked at santosha, and santosha was ease, contentment, and acceptance. Those are 3 of the yamas and niyamas that we focused on. So reminding ourselves of those 3, inviting those into our practice today, using the intention that you are your best teacher, guiding yourself through the practice by letting go of tension, not holding on too tightly, finding contentment and acceptance through your physical practice, mindfully, soulfully, and also not harming, not hurting yourself through the practice. Be your best teacher. Release the mudra. Feel the sense as the hands part from one another. Rest the hands down onto the knees. Bring some soft, gentle movement back into the fingers. Wiggling thumbs, clenching the fists, This is a good aparigraha one, and stretching, releasing. So breathe in as you clench, breathe out as you stretch and let go. In and out, in and out. Last one, in and out. Give them a shake. Release into the wrists. Circle, rotate out. Nice, lovely. Circle through the shoulders. Oh, we've been sitting there for about 10 minutes. So take your time to move. Maybe just lifting up the legs. Maybe you've moved already. And just notice how the feet, how the ankles feel here. You know, as we sit there, we tend to constrict and lose a little bit of blood flow and circulation around. So just lift up one leg and just rotate through the ankle. Again, honoring the body, noticing how much movement you need to do, and flexing and pointing into that ankle. Take the other leg. Nice. Yeah, you can hold or just hold it up in front of you. And then again, just rotating one way and the other, flexing and pointing. Good. Let's come down onto our backs and have a strap handy by the side of you. Roll down onto your back, start to lengthen the spine, spread the shoulders, spread the waists, spread the pelvis, and just take the knees gently in towards the chest. Lengthening tailbone here, pulling tailbone down. You might interlace the fingers over the top of the shins, or you just might hold the shins and let the elbows fall down to the side of you. Then just notice how that feels as we bring the thighs gently in towards the chest. And then circle out. Rotating, knees one way, getting into the hips, getting into the spine. Again, this first part of movement is our guide to see how we feel. We're not rushing, we're not forcing, we're not overstretching. We're just checking in. Maybe open the knees out to the wider edges of your mat, apart from one another, and circle into the hips. Again, being your best guide, your best teacher, noticing how that feels. Place the left foot down onto the floor, taking hold of your strap, and then placing that over your right foot for your reclined leg stretch. So go nice and easy into this one. First stretch, also a parigraha, holding onto the strap, being bound, not too tightly. So extending that leg up towards the sky. You can relax into the back of the knee, softening the thigh down towards the chest. And you can relax into the foot. We don't have to be pointed or flexed. And then bring the hands all the way down to the body. So shoulders can relax, elbows can relax. Don't hold on too tightly. I'm going to stay here for about a minute, minute and a half. Maybe the other leg extends. Think about how tightly you're holding onto the strap. But the strap is the only thing that is holding your leg in place. You're not holding your leg in place. If you were to let go of the strap, the leg would probably drop and fall. Just a few more breaths. And then bend at the knee. Take the strap away, extend both legs all the way along the mat. Take a moment to release the strap by the side of you, arms out to the side of you. Completely relax when we come out of that hold, that posture of reclined leg stretch. Notice how that right leg now feels. Notice how the back feels. And then bring the right leg back, placing that on the floor, and place the strap over your left foot. As we change sides, we breathe out to extend that leg up to the sky and slide the hands all the way down to the base of the strap, as close to the body as you can. As you settle in, maybe an option to extend that right leg along the mat. Try to let go. Already introducing a parigraha. Let go of the tightness, the tension, the gripping, the clenching, the contracting. We're definitely not taking tension anywhere else in the body. Everywhere else is comfortable, content, happy, at ease. And if we're not at ease, be your best guide and take yourself into a place of acceptance. Just a couple more breaths here. And as you bend the knee, take the strap off of that foot, extend both legs all the way along the mat. Again, taking the arms out to the side of you, relax everything. Soften across the pelvis and the buttocks particularly. Let the belly rise and fall with your breath. Just notice now how that left leg feels compared to the right. Draw both knees in, give them a squeeze, bring the knees together a little bit tighter now, and you're going to lift up your upper body into a tight ball. See if you can get as tight as you can. Oh, squeeze yourself in. Notice how the thighs kind of crush and press into the belly, into the diaphragm, into the lungs, making it a little bit tricky to find the breath. So where can you find that breath control? Most likely in the back body, widening from the sides of the rib cage. So rather than thinking that you're going to press forward, press to the sides, press underneath you. And then gently release that tightness. Oh, that's blissful. As you let go into constructive rest. Take the feet wide, let the knees drop in towards one another, bring the hands onto the belly, and let the belly rise and fall into the palms of the hands. So that was a good example of how tightly sometimes we cling on to things, and when we finally do let go, that feeling of release is almost bliss and comfort. Heel toe, feet back into parallel. So feet are facing forward. You might like to bring the heels a little bit closer up towards the buttocks. Hands come down by the sides of the body and just start to tiny, subtle pelvic tilts. So again, these are tiny movements, tilting, arching, lengthening, tailbone, lower back. Notice as you just move the tilt in the pelvis upwards and under, how that might affect the rest of the body. Are the toes clenching or are they spread out? Are the palms just resting on the floor? Find acceptance in just small, subtle movements, not having to do a lot. Because don't worry, we're going to be doing something in a moment. Press through the feet, press through the hands, roll up into a bridge pose. So just lengthen the knees forward, Lift the hips. Things have to engage here to hold us in this place. So think about what muscles, what strength we have to use. And wise use of energy is brahmacharya, one of our other, the yamas and the niyamas, remember those two restraints and guidelines. A wise use of energy. How much energy are you having to use here to hold this bridge up? Direct the energy to where it's needed most. Try not to waste the energy. We're still holding that bridge, lifting up the hips. You might interlace the fingers underneath, might roll those shoulders under just a little bit more. Wise use of energy, brahmacharya. And then gently release the hands, roll the shoulders down, spread them out. Keep the pubic bone and the belly scooping up as you roll down through the upper back. We're rounding out into flexion, rolling down middle and lower, and then eventually the sacrum and the pelvis come down. Nice. And extend those legs, extend those arms. Reach the arms back behind you. You might interlace the fingers, or you just might catch a wrist and pull one arm away from the shoulder. Point the toes, big stretch, and draw the knees in and roll over to one side. We're already started to bring those yamas and niyamas in. Are you okay? Good. Come to tabletop. So, finding hands underneath the shoulders, finding knees underneath the hips, just lift up the navel gently. Again, brahmacharya, wise use of energy. How much do we have to clench in our abdominals? Not too much. We're just drawing the navel into the spine, lengthening the spine out. Let's find a cat and cow here, just as we did in our bridge, before our bridge pose, those pelvic tilts. Now find those pelvic tilts here. Move with the breath control. Inhale for your cow, the arching. Exhale, rounding for cat. Notice how much mobility you have in the spine. And the whole of the spine, not just the lower, not just the middle, but the upper, the neck. And then last time, as we come back into our cat pose, we can widen the knees, bring the big toes to touch, and just settle back the hips towards the heels into a slow child's pose. Wiggle the hips left and right. Keep the chest lifted for a moment. Just move the chest left and right. Notice how that comes into the hips. Nice. And then you can lift up and lengthen, reaching the fingertips forward as you bring the chest down. And relax the head down towards the floor. Maybe coming on a block, maybe coming on the hands. Just be here and feel where any kind of tightness, tension might be appearing, might be showing itself. Resting the forehead down onto the mat. Just remind yourself of your intention for practice, being your best guide, your best teacher through the practice of yoga, mind, body, soul. Bringing that union together. Mental, emotional, and physical well-being. Using the philosophy of 3,000 years ago from the Patanjali Yoga Sutras for modern day living. Inhale, come back up into tabletop. Bring the knees parallel and extend the right leg out to the side of you. Toes are gently facing forward, and if you are on a hard surface, you might want to pad out that left knee. So we're going to lift up and thread the needle here. So lifting up that left arm threads through and under towards those right toes. Keeping the hips nice and high above the knee, and that right arm might stay by the face. It might move forward of your mat, or you might go into a bind. So choosing your option there, nice. Reminding yourself of ahimsa, non-hurting, non-harming. We don't always have to go to the most complex of the posture, the asana. We find our comfort with a little bit of challenge, of course, a little bit of edge. Wherever that right hand may have found itself, bring it back to the face, push down through the floor. We're going to lift up through that left arm and open up the left side of the body here into a nice big open wing stretch. And then bring that hand down and lift up into a gate pose. So come up high. Again, we're stacking the joints, so stacking knee underneath the hip, lifting up left arm. This time we stretch over for our lateral side stretch, so reaching those fingers towards the ankle. Nice, that's it. Yeah, reaching that top arm over. Good. And thinking again alignment, so we're not leaning forward and the buttocks are sticking out the back. We're trying to stay in a nice alignment. And then as you bring the hands down to the floor, we bring the right leg and it crumbs across, the left thigh. And come into your cow face pose from here. So maybe you have to come down onto a cushion or a block. Oh, that's tight. Yeah. So pulling those feet out to the sides of you, sitting tall on both sit bones and finding cow face arms here. So left arm reaches up, right arm goes underneath you. And maybe the fingers meet. Again, I've left my strap all the way over the other side of my mat, so I won't be going for that. I'm here now. It's okay. We don't always need to use the props. If you like, folding forward. Slowly, 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 exhaling, letting the forehead drop down towards that right knee. Just assess the situation. Take some steady and slow breaths, settling in, finding santosha, acceptance. Not over forcing anything. We're very much bound here, so a parigraha, it's going to feel quite blissful when we release. Lengthening the arms to bring you back up into an upright position. Release the arms first of all. Circle through the shoulders. Feel that nice release. And then unravel the legs and extend them out in front of you. Don't worry, I haven't forgotten the left. But just to release, when we've been all tight and bound up, remember when I pulled those knees in, and then you can just let them go. Give them a little bounce out, nice. Maybe a massage if you like. Again, that's all about nice self-love, metta, and then swing those legs around behind us. I'm going to change sides. So left leg comes out this time. So first of all is our thread the needle. And reaching up right arm. Open up that big wing. Thread it through and under towards our left toes. Nice. So keeping the hips nice and high over that right knee. Pressing the right shin down. And then finding the place where that left arm feels most comfortable. Maybe by the face, maybe a head, or maybe in the bind. As we change to the other side, notice how this all feels. Tap into the senses, maybe closing the eyes, and now starting to invite pratyahara, withdrawal of the senses. So just drawing inwards, letting go of sight, not watching the screen too much, but rather than listening to the cues, become a better listener. Wherever that left hand found itself, bring it back to the floor. Press down through that hand as you reach the right arm up towards the sky. Really open up as if you're opening up a big eagle wing. That gives you a clue for where we're going later. Bring hands down and then come back up to your gate pose. Start to stack everything on top of one another as you reach the right arm up and over, reaching left fingers down towards that left ankle. Nice side stretch there. Open the rib cage. Or reach fingers a little bit further. Feel that stretch. And then breathe in. Bring yourself back into center. Left leg comes across your right thigh. Thread it through. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Stack those knees on top of one another. Bring those shins out to the side and then gently find your way back into your cow face legs. Good. Right arm raises this time and left arm goes underneath. I'm a little closer to my strap now, but this side, I don't actually need the strap. Isn't that funny? Nice, yeah. Finding alternatives as you might need. So lengthening up through the spine. We can, of course, stay upright. Maybe you want to go into the fold. Exhaling, lengthening down. Nice. So here we're starting to tap into the upper body a little bit more. Internal and external rotations of the shoulder joint. Notice where the tightness may come for you. Breathe. Use the pranayama, the breath control, into those areas. Lengthen the elbow away, lengthen the spine. Bring yourself back upright, ground through those sit bones as you gently release the arms. That's a nice moment. Circle shoulders, feel what that's like to come out. And then unravel the legs and let those go out in front of you. Sit tall, maybe wiggle the legs. Give them a shake, maybe give them a massage, whatever feels good. So I'm going to come to the other side once more. So swing those legs back around you, come back into your tabletop position. We're going to go into our melting heart pose. So finding a nice, comfortable place for your arms to be, whether it's underneath the head, maybe they're on the forearms, maybe they're on blocks. Maybe you're in a quarter puppy, which is one arm is bent and one arm is straight. So feel the heaviness through the center of the back, between the shoulder blades. Let the chest release. And then looking forward, sliding forward onto the forearms. Again, just finding some strength here. Stamina and endurance is really important in a practice, but Brahmacharya tells us where we want to dispel our energy. So maybe tucking the toes, coming into your forearm plank. Wise use of energy. Maybe the knees are down. We're staying and we're holding. Noticing what's going on with the mind, with the body, trying not to go into a state of panic, being comfortable. And then slowly lower the hips, lower the pubic bone, release to the top of the feet, and come into your Sphinx pose. So maybe the elbows move forward just a little bit, and fingertips are pointing to the front of the mat. Drop the pubic bone, the hip bones to the floor. Engage the glutes. Draw navel gently back in towards the spine. So here we just find acceptance with the flexibility, the mobility of our own spine. Santosha. Heart-led intentions for practice. Opening the heart out to the front of the mat. And we only go as far as our spine allows, not the person next to us or the person on the screen. And slowly we roll down, widening those elbows out to the side, bringing the head down onto the hands and just bring the big toes to touch. These moments of release are incredibly important, so really let go. Not holding on too tightly. Sway the hips from left to right, release into the glutes, release into the lower back. Taking our right leg out to the side of us into a half frog. So knee in line with hip, ankle in line with knee. Make sure that the left leg is nice and rolled under you. So we're not not externally rotating our leg. Head might remain down onto the hands. You might choose to go up into that Sphinx pose again. That's your choice. So a back bend with a little bit of a hip opener. Dropping down through that right side, right hip. And then if you chose the Sphinx option, lower down, first of all, the body, then bring the right leg back. Left side, left knee comes out, making sure that that's in the nice, comfortable position, gently turning those toes back towards the shin. And then again, choosing the option of staying with head on hands or coming up into that back bend, dropping down through that left hip flexor, left hip. Start to tap into the sense of the felt sense. Where do you feel in space? Does the body feel aligned? Does the body feel sort of symmetrical? It's not going to feel 100% symmetrical because we've got one leg out and one leg long. So do you feel that the upper body is symmetrical? And then slowly widen the elbows and bring the head down to the hands, and then return the left leg back into place. Sway out through the hips. Excuse me. Hands come underneath you and just press up through cobra. Roll up, press back through tabletop. We're going to tuck the toes. We're going to come into a downward facing dog. Pedal out, go easy here. We've just come out from some back bends. Start to release through the calves, through the back of the knees, through the back of the legs. So lift up the right leg, just open out the hip, just give it a nice little open and a release, maybe offering some figure of 8 shapes, and then release that down. Left leg lifts, open out the hip, and some figure of 8s. And then when you feel ready, bring that left down and release into your downward facing dog. On your next exhale breath, start to release the heels towards the back of the mat. Pressing chest back towards the thighs. And of course, if you need to come down to tabletop or child's pose at any point, please do. We're just holding here for 5 breaths. Good pranayama. Breath control in asana. Meditation in movement. Looking forward to the right hand, we're going to bring the right leg through and place the hand and plant the back foot into your warrior 1 position. Lifting the arms up. And then start to find a standing place. Oh, we've been down on the floor for a while. Let me just center myself up. I might actually change sides. No. I'm going to stay this side. So starting to figure out where the legs need to be. Starting to figure out the spine, drawing the navel gently in. How much do we have to turn the chest to the front of the mat? Reaching fingers up high, bending into the front knee nice and gently. So from here, we're going to come into a humble eagle. So we're going to bring the right arm over the left. Find your eagle arms, lift up, lengthen, and reach over that right thigh. Bringing your right shoulder on the inside of the right thigh, dropping down through the left thigh. Keep those fingertips reaching towards the front of the mat. Steadiness of the breath. Remember your energy control as well. And then from here, we lengthen. We pull ourselves back up to our warrior eagle. And we're going to bring our left foot into our eagle pose. This is going to be a bit hard for me because I've got very little roof space. So bringing right leg up and over. Sorry, left leg up and over. What am I saying? So we've got, yes, that's it. Left leg over. Maybe it's a double bind. Maybe it's that double wrap. There's not a chance I'm going to do that today. So it's not about me or my practice, it's about you. So where do you go? Bending into those knees, lifting up through the elbows. Find the balance. Focus, drishti. And then release the arms, release the legs, come into stand. You might be somewhere around the front of your mat, maybe a third mat in. Just find mountain pose, maybe close the eyes. Take a moment just to process warrior one, humble eagle, and eagle pose. How much energy was needed for those three postures, those three asana. Lift up the arms, breathe in, a little upward salute here to the sky. Exhale, swan dive all the way down, release it out. Inhale into the half lift. Step or float back into your connecting vinyasa. Find that for yourself as you maybe go chaturanga, up dog, or knees, chest, shin, cobra. And we come back into our downward facing dog or tabletop. Find 5 breaths. Again, steady the mind, preparing for the left side. We know what we're doing. We know where we're going. Looking forward, bringing the left leg as close or towards the left hand. Plant the back foot, find that warrior one position. Then we come up, bringing our arms up towards the sky, then starting to settle into the posture. And it's really not about the aesthetics of the posture, not what it looks like, it's about what it feels like. Draw the navel gently in, keep that nice long spine, bending into the front knee, back leg is nice and straight, grounding through the back foot. This time we cross the left arm over the top of the right. Maybe coming into that prayer position if the arms don't quite cross one another. Lifting up, lengthening, exhaling, folding into your humble warrior. Humble eagle warrior. Left shoulder comes on the inside of the left knee. Bending into left knee. Dropping hips just a little bit more to the floor. Nice. Keep lengthening fingertips towards the front of your mat. Find the steadiness of the breath. Be calm. Lengthen away. Pull yourself back up. And then step forward. Right leg comes across. Left. I have to kind of rearrange myself in this room so that I'm in the center. Dropping down through the hips, down through the knees. Keep the spine long. Elbows lifting away and up. Fingertips reaching up towards the sky. And we lengthen knees. We release the hands, we unravel, we just settle into Tadasana. Big deep breath out. Again, releasing from that hold, that bind, a parigraha, being bound. And when they let go, it feels so much better now. It's blissful to let go of that tightness, that restraint. Inhale, lift the arms up, little upward salute once more. And exhale, swan dive all the way down. Inhale, ripple, half lift. And then make your way through your chosen connecting vinyasa. To return to our last and final downward facing dog. 5 breaths. Or maybe you come to tabletop, maybe you come to child's pose because that's where we're all going to end up. And then the knees come down. And we just bring the belly, the chest down to the thighs, release the head forward, and the hands come back behind us. You might like to just open a little bit of space between the knees there, so the belly, the diaphragm, and the lungs can find some space to fill. Relax into the face, relax into the neck. Let the shoulders soften and round. And bring the hands forward to press yourself into the floor as you gently and slowly roll up through the spine. Just come to kneel at the back of our mat, settling into just a relaxed comfort, ease. If kneeling is not for you, just swing the legs out in front of you and just sit nice and tall. So we're stacking ears over collarbones, shoulders over the hips, hips over the ankles. Just take a breath in and the arms raise all the way up to the sky. On the exhale, we flip the palms over and we just let the palms and the arms float down. And they come about halfway to just round about the center of the lungs. We breathe in, we fill. And then the next exhale, the hands lower all the way down. Let's swing the legs around in front of us and come to sideways onto our mat for our wide-legged forward fold. How are we doing? Okay. So again, sitting tall here might mean sitting on a cushion, a blanket, or a block, or a bolster. From kneeling, maybe again, the feet, the ankles felt a little bit tight, bit of restriction underneath you. And again, not everybody has flexible knees. And again, that might be a little uncomfortable. So do what you need to here. Lifting up the arms, breathe in, and then that exhale, hands come down. And this time we continue and the hands slide down to the floor. Keep breathing out and go into your fold. And reminding ourselves of ahimsa, non-harming, non-hurting, non-violence towards ourselves, particularly in a wide-legged forward fold. It's very easy to overstretch, overpush, overforce. Everybody's wide leg is going to be different. Be content and accept where you are, where your range of motion, your limitations. Close the eyes. Take away sound, take away sight. And just tap into the felt sense. What are you feeling? What sensations are coming up? Breathe in, walk the hands back towards the body. And just sit nice and tall once more as the hands scoop around the back of the knees, gather the knees in and bring them to close. We've got one little fun posture to do, which was our tortoise. So give those knees a little press. And this is our last posture before we come down onto our back. Take the feet a little bit wider. Lift up the arms. Exhale, bring the elbows on the inside. See how much you can pull those elbows to the floor. Nice. Now, maybe one hand slides and wriggles itself under. You're already there. Maybe the other hand. And this might be your point where you stay. Maybe then the heels slide along the floor and you flex the toes back towards the shins and you just come into a fun, again, ahimsa is here, very, very present. Don't overforce. Tortoise pose. Kamasana. At least 5 breaths hold. I can't look up here because it will hurt my neck. But I hope you're okay. One of my favorites, particularly. Maybe not others. To come out, it's a little bit of a struggle, but sometimes tortoises have struggles too. So you release one arm. You release the other. And then we'll bring it all the way back up. Lovely. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Relax the spine, relax those inner thighs. Nice. Lie down on your back, draw the knees in, have all the props that you need by the side of you for moving into our final relaxation in a moment. But before we get there, just lengthen the spine underneath you with knees to chest. This is a really nice, comfortable place to come to. It's really kind of comforting for yourself. It's like a big hug. Also releases through the spine. So feel the spine letting go. And that's from the tailbone, the coccyx, all the way up to the base of the skull. C1, cervical 1. And we're just holding that knees to chest. Where are we finding our breath control? I'm finding mine from the sides of my ribs, expanding my lungs outwards. And release the hands, release the feet, open the knees out to the side, let the heels slide away from the buttocks just a little bit as you bring the feet together into your butterfly pose, and place the hands wherever they feel most drawn to. Maybe it's the hips, maybe it's the belly, maybe it's cactus, maybe it's out to the side by the hips. I'm feeling drawn to cactus. Very open, very accepting. You might feel that you need the sense of touch on the body. Wherever you found yourself, take those slow and steady breaths as you calm the heart rate. Letting go of the physical practice that you've already attained, drawing into the mindful and mental practice of yoga. The focus, the concentration, the meditation, the contemplation. Just be still, be calm, let thoughts just drift away. Trying to relax everything here, letting go of contraction, engagement. If you need to bring the knees back up into center, please do, but just going to stay for another 5 or 6 breaths. Wherever the hands were, bring them back nice and slowly. No rush, slow-mo. Bring the hands to the outer thighs. Lift the knees, lift the legs together. Place the soles of the feet wide. That spaces out the pelvis. Let the knees drop in towards one another. Now bring the hands to the belly. Let the belly rise and fall with your breath underneath your hands. And as we prepare to come into our final relaxation, try and do this with as minimal effort, as minimal energy, and as minimal movement as we can, making it slow, steady, so that we're just simply moving into a place of samadhi. And samadhi is the 8th limb. And I hope that each and every time you come to your mat, you find your place in samadhi. Samadhi is bliss, enlightenment, coming back to the divine. And the divine might be you in your yoga practice on your mat. Start to release into the toes. Feel each and every toe relax one by one. Be aware of the sense in the soles of the feet after our standing balances. Let the ankles relax and the feet fall out to the sides rather than hold them in place. Soften the shins, let them drop down as you spread the calves. The knees may have been supported by a bolster, or you can just let those relax, front, back, sides, all of those amazing connective tissue, the ligaments, tendons that maintain our knee support and stability. We let go of any tension that we might be holding in the larger muscles of the body, the thighs, the hamstrings, the buttocks, the hip flexors, all of those big muscles around from the knees up to the lower back. Spreading the buttocks out as we relax the pelvic floor. Maybe the lower back is gently pulling away from the floor, slight arch as the belly rises and falls. And we find the steadiness of this breath, but we're still breathing, but very little movement. Heart rate is resting. And we feel open across the chest, across the collarbones, across the shoulders. And we feel the sensation of our arms by the sides of us, with the palms curling up towards the sky, welcoming and receptive of all of this wonderful feelings of bliss as we lie here on our backs. And lastly, the throat is relaxed. You might like to take a swallow as you moisten the mouth. Relax the jaw, the teeth, the area around the eyes and the forehead, and even the hair on your head as the back of your head feels held and supported. Now feel the body as one, a union, mind, body, soul, in harmony, in balance, in bliss. I'll let you know when it's time to come back around. For now, I'll leave you for silent moments. Begin to breathe in deeply and exhale, sigh it out, let go any remaining tension. Bring soft, gentle, slow movement into the hands, into the feet. Never rush to come out of your Shavasana, circling through the wrists, circling through the feet. This was your blissful reward, samadhi, finding enlightenment through the practice. Lift the arms up, give yourself a big, big stretch. Preparing yourself, mind, body, and soul for the rest of your day. And draw those knees in. Gently roll out, roll over to one side, and bring yourself back up to that comfortable seated posture we began. Sitting tall, bringing the hands into Anjali Mudra, a moment of gratitude, a moment of thanks for yourself, for your practice, and for you being your best guide, your best teacher. Yoga is a personal practice. I can be here to facilitate, but it's yours alone. It's not my experience. And reminding yourself that the 8 limbs of yoga, even though they're 3,000 years old, can be certainly brought into modern day living. We are human. Nothing has changed in 3,000 years. If anything, it's got more hectic, more busy. So the 8 limbs are more important. Always thank yourself, your body, your breath, your focus, and your energy. And I thank you today. Thank you so much. Namaste.